Do you know that the fractional index law of indices can be very useless? You know why? Because there's an alternative method, which is actually a very much easier method. All you need to know is to know how to change a number to its index form. Now, what am I talking about? Follow me. Look at this. I'll use the same example I gave you when I was talking about fractional index. Look at this. If you have 8 raised to the power of 2 over 3. Now, this 8 raised to the power of 2 over 3, according to the fractional index law. Remember that in the fractional index law, you need to take the denominator root and raise that number to the numerator power. What do I mean by this? You say that taking the numerator, raising the number to the numerator power, we're going to have 8 raised to the power of 2. Then taking the denominator root, we're going to have the cube root of 8 raised to the power of 2. Now, what does this give us? Remember that 8 squared gives 64. So that means we're going to have the cube root of 64. And the cube root of 64 gives 4. I already told you that this is because 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4 gives 64. It means 4 multiplied by itself 3 times will give 64. That is why the cube root of 64 is 4. But the alternative method is changing this 8 to its standard, to its index form. Now, what do I mean by this? 8 is the same thing as 2 raised to the power of 3. This 8 is the same thing as 2 raised to the power of 3. Because 2 multiplied by 2 gives 8. That is why 2 raised to the power of 3 is equivalent to 8. But do not forget that this 8 is raised to the power of 2 over 3. So that means you have to multiply this 3 by that power that was existing already, which is 2 over 3. Now, what happens here? You know that 3 will cancel 3. What do we have left? 2 raised to the power of 2. And 2 raised to the power of 2 is the same thing as what? As 4. We are getting the same thing as what we got here. Do you understand that? I want to believe you understand. Now, I'm going to give you another example to explain this better, so that you will be able to agree with me that the fractional index law is a useless law. Now, let's talk about this. Look at this. If you have, let's say 16 raised to the power of 3 over 2. 16 raised to the power of 3 over 2. Using fractional index law, I'm going to take the denominator root and raise the number to its numerator power. But we're not going to do that. The easier method is to just say that 16 is the same thing as 4 squared. That is 16. This 16 is the same thing as 4 raised to the power of 2. That's 16, because 4 times 4 gives 16. Then you multiply this power by the power that was initially existing, which is what? Which is 3 over 2. Now what happens? 2 cancels 2. What do we have left? 4 raised to the power of 3. What is the meaning of 4 raised to the power of 3? That is 4 times 4 times 4, which gives 64. That's the answer. Thank you, and God bless you.